Hi there, fellow traveler. Whether you're planning your first flight in years or you're a frequent flyer with your suitcase practically on autopilot, this video is for you. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by changing TSA rules, confusing technology, or just want to avoid those awkward airport hiccups, we've got you covered. Today, we're breaking down 15 common TSA mistakes that can ruin your trip, especially for seasoned travelers like you who deserve smooth skies, not sudden delays. Stick around because knowing these tips might be the difference between a relaxing getaway and a security line nightmare. Oh, and before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a smart travel tip from TravelVibes. Let's get started. Mistake number 1. The one tap that triggers trouble: reusing a boarding pass. Let's kick things off with a mistake that seems harmless until it isn't. If you're someone who prefers to stay organized by saving your boarding pass as a PDF on your phone, especially if you're flying multiple legs in one trip, this one's for you. Many older travelers today value routines. You like to plan ahead, avoid fumbling with apps at the airport, and maybe even print your pass just in case. That's smart, most of the time. But in 2025, TSA's upgraded AI systems have become much stricter. If you try to use the same QR code twice, even if it's for separate connecting flights on the same day, those scanners might think you're trying to sneak by. And just like that, you're no longer in line. You're in a full-body scan. To avoid this unnecessary drama, here's the golden rule. Open your airline app before every checkpoint and refresh your boarding pass. Every scan needs to be a fresh scan. It only takes a few seconds, but it saves you from being flagged, questioned, or worse, delayed. Simple, right? One small action can keep your whole trip running smoothly. Let's keep going, because the next mistake can really throw your health essentials into chaos. Mistake number 2, medication mayhem. When TSA sees a health kit as a hazard. Now that your boarding pass is sorted, let's talk about something that's even more personal: your medications. If you're like many older travelers across the US, your carry-on often includes a few essential health items: prescription pills, insulin pens, maybe some eye drops or arthritis cream. And for convenience, you probably place them all together in a single pouch, neatly zipped and tucked into your bag. But here's the catch. TSA's modern scanners don't just see that pouch as medications. They see a sealed, unlabeled bundle of mixed chemical forms. And guess what? That looks suspicious. It triggers additional swabs, glove changes, and sometimes even a full bag search. It's frustrating, especially when all you're trying to do is take care of your health while staying on schedule. Here's what seasoned flyers do differently. Divide your items. Put any injectables, like insulin pens, in one clear pouch. Place your pill bottles in another, and label both. Then, set them right on top of your carry-on tray so officers can identify everything at a glance. This isn't just about security. It's about showing confidence and consideration. It says, "I've done this before," and most of the time, they'll wave you through. Coming up next, even the ID in your wallet might not be as ready to fly as you think. Mistake number 3. The ID that looks perfect, but fails you at the gate. You've packed your medications the right way. Great. But what about your ID? Here's where many travelers over 60 get caught off guard. You renew your driver's license on time, the card looks pristine, the photo even turned out well for once. You think, "I'm all set." But when you hand it to the TSA agent, they pause, look closer, and suddenly you're being asked to step aside. Why? Because in 2025, newly issued licenses, especially those updated after October 1st, don't always sync immediately with the federal ID verification system. It's a quiet policy change, but it's turning into a common snag for older travelers who take pride in staying up to date. The fix? Always carry your valid passport in your carry-on, even for short domestic flights. It's universally accepted, fast-tracked at checkpoints, and serves as your backup ID when tech hiccups hit. Think of it as your travel armor: lightweight, reliable, and ready when you need it. Still with me? Because your jewelry might be the next thing that slows you down. And you won't believe how sensitive the new scanners are. Mistake number 4. When your favorite jewelry sets off an unexpected alarm. You've got your passport tucked safely in your bag. Great move. But now let's talk about something we don't usually think twice about: jewelry. Many older travelers love wearing meaningful pieces. wedding rings, a gold chain passed down through generations, or that trusted medical alert bracelet. These items are part of your story. But in today's high-tech airport scanners, even a thin gold ring can raise a red flag. That's exactly what's happening with the new micromagnetic sensors in TSA checkpoints. They're more sensitive than ever. And yes, they'll beep for that lightweight pendant or even a decorative zipper pull. To avoid the awkward pat-down or having to explain why your bracelet won't come off, here's the smart approach. Before you get in line, remove all your jewelry, put it in a soft fabric pouch, and place it right into the bin. It's safe, quick, and makes the entire process smoother. Up next, let's talk about a modern packing mistake that's become surprisingly common, especially among tech-savvy seniors. Mistake number 5, power panic, when extra batteries backfire. Now let's talk power. If you're like many seniors today, you rely on your devices to stay connected, whether it's a tablet for reading, a phone for boarding passes, or hearing aids that need steady charging. So packing multiple power banks might feel like a smart move. After all, better safe than sorry, right? Not quite. TSA rules now strictly limit you to 2 lithium-ion power banks, each under 100 watt-hours. Anything more, no matter how well-intentioned, and you're at risk of losing them at the gate. It happened to a traveler recently who had to surrender 2 perfectly good battery packs or risk missing his flight. That kind of last-minute decision? Stressful and avoidable. Here's what you do instead. Bring only the 2 you truly need. Check the watt-hour rating. It's usually printed right on the label. And if it's not clear, write it down yourself and tape it on. Keep them accessible in your bag so they're easy to show if asked. Coming up next, let's explore a mistake that has nothing to do with what's in your bag, but everything to do with how you behave in line and how TSA is quietly watching. Mistake number 6, the scroll that signals suspicion. So far, we've covered what's in your bag. Now let's talk about something TSA notices even more. You. In today's world of behavioral monitoring, the way you stand in line can matter just as much as what's in your luggage. This one surprises many older travelers, especially those who use their phone to pass the time. Maybe you're checking a flight delay, browsing the news, or texting family. But if your eyes are glued to your screen and you seem fidgety or distracted, TSA's behavior detection systems might flag you as high risk, even if you're doing absolutely nothing wrong. The solution? It's called the silent focus method. Stand calmly with your hands resting on your bag, eyes forward, and posture relaxed. No scrolling, no pacing, no nervous chatter. You'll blend in as calm, prepared, and low risk, and in most cases, that's enough to glide right through. Coming up next, how something as simple as reorganizing your tray at the wrong moment can trigger another screening. Let's unpack that. Mistake number 7. Shuffling items at the wrong time can stall the line. Let's say you've made it through most of the line and your trays are sliding toward the X-ray scanner. Then suddenly, you remember, you forgot to take your jacket off or your tablet is in the wrong bin, so you reach over and start shifting items around mid-process. Seems harmless, right? Not anymore. In 2025, TSA's bin tracking software uses high-resolution cameras to match trays with traveler movements. If the layout of your tray changes after placement, it can trigger a mismatch alert, flagging your bin for additional screening. And that quick reshuffle? It now costs you time, maybe even a full bag inspection. For many older travelers who like to double-check and adjust things as they go, this can feel counterintuitive. But the trick is simple. Take a moment before you get in line to prep your tray exactly how you want it. Once the bin's on the belt, hands off. Do your reorganizing at the repack bench after the scanner. 1 well-prepped tray equals 1 smooth exit. Let's keep moving, because even a minor typo in your name can lead to a major delay. Mistake number 8, when a tiny name error becomes a major delay. You've made it through the conveyor belt with everything in order, nice work. But the next checkpoint can trip up even the most experienced flyers, the boarding pass name check. And the mistake? It's often just one character. Many older travelers in the US go by shortened names, initials, or even legacy surnames with apostrophes, hyphens, or suffixes like Junior. But here's the catch. TSA systems are literal. If your ticket says J. O'Connor, but your ID says James O'Connor, those two aren't a match. And what follows? A slow manual verification, questions, and possibly a long delay. It's an easy mistake to make, especially when you're booking through apps or with travel agents who autofill fields. The fix is simple. Always enter your name on the ticket exactly as it appears on your government-issued ID. Every middle name, every hyphen, every space matters. Get this step right, and you'll breeze through. But overlook it, and you could find yourself watching the clock while the gate closes. Next up, why even with facial scan technology, good old paper still matters more than ever. Mistake number 9. When clear isn't so clear without paper backup. By now you've taken care of the small stuff. Names, power banks, posture. But in the era of face scanning tech and rapid entry programs like Clear, there's a hidden trap many seniors don't see coming. You've paid for the service, you're enrolled, and it's supposed to speed things up. So you relax. No paper pass, just a smile for the scanner. But then, at a second checkpoint, often in larger airports like Chicago or Atlanta, you're asked for a printed boarding pass. And if you don't have it, suddenly you're running to a kiosk, scrambling with shaky hands, and your stress-free trip takes a sharp detour. Here's the pro tip. Even if you're using Clear or digital ID, always carry a printed copy of your boarding pass in your carry-on or travel wallet. It takes no space and could save you time, frustration, and a missed flight. Coming up next, let's look at the smallest items in your pockets that can still cause the biggest headaches at TSA. Stay with me. Mistake number 10, the pocket surprise that gets you pulled aside. You're almost through. Your bags are screened, your ID's in order, and you're just steps away from the gate. But then, an officer stops you. Why? A tiny bulge in your jacket pocket caught the eye of a smart camera. Maybe it's a lip balm, a tissue, or that protein bar you grabbed for the flight. Innocent items, sure, but they can trigger one more round of screening you didn't expect. For many senior travelers, staying comfortable and prepared means keeping essentials close at hand. But in today's security lines, even a small, forgotten item can be flagged as a potential threat. And at that point, it's not about what it is, it's about where it is. Here's a simple fix that makes a big difference. After you reclaim your tray, take 5 seconds to do a full pocket check. Slip anything small into your personal item or handbag before walking away from the screening area. TSA sees a clean silhouette, and you avoid unnecessary delays or pat-downs. Coming up next, what seems like a smart outfit choice may actually slow you down. Let's take a closer look. Mistake number 11, layer overload. When dressing for comfort slows you down. Let's face it, airports can be chilly, airplanes even more so. And for many older travelers, staying warm means layering up. That thick cardigan, a cozy scarf, maybe even a shawl or two. It feels like smart packing until you hit the TSA body scanner. Here's what most people don't realize. Those oversized layers create bulk and shadows that confuse the scanners. They can also hide small pocket items, like tissues, cough drops, or travel documents that trigger extra screening. What was meant to keep you warm might now be holding you back. The easy fix? Stick to one light outer layer as you move through security. Put any extras in your personal item or carry-on. Once you're past the checkpoint, you can bundle up again. You'll move faster, look more prepared, and avoid unnecessary holdups, all while staying comfortable and confident. Next, let's talk about something seemingly harmless, a plastic bag. But not just any plastic bag. Mistake number 12, the bag that betrays you. Outdated liquid storage. Let's move from layers to liquids. If you're a frequent traveler or someone who's been flying for decades, you probably have a go-to Ziploc bag you've used for years. It's tucked in your toiletry kit, a little worn, but still does the job, right? Not anymore. TSA guidelines in 2025 have quietly tightened. Those old, wrinkled, oversized, or tinted bags, they're no longer accepted. And if your liquids pouch doesn't meet the updated standards, you could be pulled aside for a repack, or worse, have to toss your carefully selected items. Here's the smart switch. Invest in a TSA-approved, clear, quart-sized pouch. It should zip smoothly, stand upright, and clearly display all contents. And here's a bonus tip. Replace it every few months. Keep liquids under 100 milliliters and don't cram too many in. A tidy bag sends a clear message. I'm ready. Still with me? Good, because next, we're looking at a mistake that trips people up even before they get to TSA. Assuming every airport plays by the same rules. Mistake number 13, thinking every airport plays by the same rulebook. You've got your liquids sorted in the perfect pouch. Great job. But here's where many senior travelers stumble, expecting consistency. You passed through your hometown airport last month with no issues, so naturally you assume the same rules apply everywhere. But then at your connection or return flight, something you packed gets flagged. Here's the truth. TSA guidelines are federal, but how they're enforced, that varies, sometimes by airport, sometimes by terminal, and even by shift. One agent may wave through your nail clippers while another asks to inspect them. For older travelers who value predictability and preparation, this inconsistency can be frustrating. So what can you do? Before every trip, take 5 minutes to check the official TSA website. Print a quick list of what's allowed, or better yet, screenshot it to your phone. It gives you peace of mind and something to reference, just in case questions come up. Next, let's talk about a benefit many seniors miss out on, simply because they don't know to ask. Mistake number 14, overlooking the quiet perk made just for you. Now that you're better prepared for rule changes, let's focus on something many older travelers don't even realize they're missing: the senior-friendly TSA lane. Yes, it exists, and yes, it's real. Many U.S. airports now offer a separate screening line for seniors, those with mobility needs, or anyone who may need a little more time. It's quieter, often less rushed, and can make all the difference if you have joint pain, hearing aids, or simply move at a different pace than the fast-track business crowd. But here's the trick. It's not always clearly marked, and TSA agents don't always offer it unless you ask. That's where your voice comes in. At check-in or just before you enter the screening zone, ask kindly, "Is there a priority lane for seniors today?" More often than not, the answer is yes, and the experience is noticeably more relaxed. Up next, we wrap up our list with one final mistake: staying silent when what you really need is just a little help. Mistake number 15. Staying silent when help is just a question away. You've made it this far, you're informed, organized, and ready. But here's one last mistake that even the most seasoned travelers still make: trying to do it all alone. Many older adults were raised with a deep sense of independence. You take pride in managing your own bags, moving at your own pace, and not making a fuss. But at the airport, that quiet strength can sometimes work against you, especially if you're struggling with a heavy bin, a mobility issue, or just feeling overwhelmed by the noise and pace of the checkpoint. Here's what experienced travelers know. TSA officers are trained to help, but they can't read minds. If you need assistance, say something. A polite, clear request before you begin the screening process can unlock extra time, a chair, or a helping hand without judgment. Travel isn't about powering through. It's about enjoying the journey. And asking for support is just another way to move forward with confidence. Up next, let's wrap everything up and send you off with a final travel tip you won't want to forget. And there you have it, 15 TSA mistakes that catch even the most experienced travelers off guard. But now, you're equipped. You've got the know-how to walk into any airport with calm, confidence, and control. Because smart travel isn't about luck, it's about preparation. So whether you're heading off to visit family, explore new places, or simply enjoy the journey, remember, small adjustments lead to smoother skies. If today's tips helped you, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to TravelVibes, and share your own TSA story in the comments. Your experience might just help someone else fly smarter. Until next time, travel well, travel wise, and always travel with heart.